All right, hello and welcome to the channel. You're joining me here inside of our Rivian R1S. And the reason I'm in here today is we've got a ton of Rivian news. So I wanted to share all of that with you. We've learned a whole lot this week, and there's a whole lot more we're going to be learning soon about Rivian's upcoming R2 platform. There are a whole bunch of additional new batteries and range options for Rivian now. There have been some price changes. Leasing is getting more affordable. And we're starting to get a little bit more in terms of rumors around a upcoming sort of, I don't know if you'd call it like mid-cycle or not, but at least a refresh on the R1T and R1S. So come along with me, we'll get into all of it, and let's drive.
Let's ride.
All right, so I absolutely love our Rivian. We've had this R1S now for about 2.5 months, and it has just been the best vehicle we've ever owned. I promise I am going to get to the review video eventually. There's so much to talk about, it's a little bit hard to put together, but make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of that when it does finally come up. But in the meantime, there's just a tremendous amount of interesting news around Rivian right now, and I think it's really cool just to hear some of the things that they're doing now and basically learn more about how they're setting themselves up to scale in the future and just become such a critical manufacturer in the EV space going forward. All right, so first up, beginning of this week, we got some news finally on some of the launch announcements for the R2 platform. So if you're not aware of it, the R2 platform is basically, the second platform that Rivian is going to come out with. What we've got right now is what they call the R1 platform. So that's what the R1S and the R1T, the truck, are built off of. That is sort of their, initial main like flagship kind of lineup. To where we're going to have the most performance, the most space, range, best charging, those kinds of things. And even with the expansion of all of the different like options around there, it's still kind of like at the upper range here. So, we're talking kind of about $75,000 up to like over $100,000, depending on the configurations and stuff there. With that, Rivian is really focused on having this adventure lifestyle kind of brand. You've got, all of the off-roading capabilities in this line. You've also got, things like the camping speaker and the flashlight. There's just these little like accessories and things that make it perfect for getting out into the woods and up into the mountains and onto the beaches and stuff for all of your various adventures. And it sounds like with the R2, while they do want to make things a bit more affordable and make a little bit more, I wouldn't say like truly mass market, but something that is going to be more attainable by people, they still want to keep a lot of the hallmarks of the brand, from styling to just that adventure lifestyle. So it's going to be really exciting to see kind of how they blend those things going forward. So it sounds like, what we're basically expecting with the R2, and we really don't know a lot that's confirmed about it. We're going to be learning more about it soon. But we have, a bunch of rumors. There's also been like a couple of little, hints and teasers here and there. RJ, the CEO of, and founder of Rivian, shared like basically a video where he's got, what is the proposed body behind him, covered up and stuff. So, we have a little bit of an idea of sort of about the size and the shape. And it looks like what we are expecting is that there's going to be at least an R2S. I don't know if that's exactly what they'll call it, but, sort of a smaller version of an SUV. Most likely to be 2 rows instead of the 3 rows that we've got here. But we don't know that for sure and won't know. But what is basically happening and what news we've got now is that the official unveiling and launch is going to be on March 7th at the Laguna Rivian space. So it's actually kind of a cool story around how some of the leaks and stuff happened before this was confirmed. Basically, Rivian had to file with the city of Laguna in California to have this event because they wanted to have some vehicles parked outside on the grass and like around their space. And because of that, they needed to like apply to the city to get permits and things for that. So somebody on Reddit, and I wish I knew exactly who, or I don't remember if it was Reddit or on the forum, so I wish I could give credit for it. But they discovered this and basically posted it, and kind of everybody knew about this now. And then Rivian officially announced that they would be doing this just earlier this week. So on March 7th, we will learn a lot more about this. Unfortunately, I did not get the invite. Come on, Rivian. You got to get me out to the next one at least. But I'll be following along closely, and we'll share, all of the news from that as well. But it's going to be interesting because they're announcing it now, but we're not expecting this vehicle to actually come to market until 2026. So Rivian recently broke ground and has started construction on their factory outside of Atlanta, which is where they're going to be producing all of the R2 vehicles. And it's going to take until at least 2026 for that to get finished and come online. So, we're still a couple of years away from actually getting these vehicles out on the road. But hopefully we'll learn a whole lot about them in advance. I think part of the reason for Rivian doing this is, they kind of have to, like a lot of these, startups and like more software-defined vehicle companies now, like Tesla, Polestar, they're doing more and more of these like, kind of big independent annual announcements rather than doing like the traditional auto manufacturer thing where they go to car shows and things, so to take more like of a brand identity. And I think now especially Rivian's got a couple of high profile executive leaders that have now come from Apple, and I think they're trying to do kind of the Apple thing too and have like these big launch events to get people excited about the brand and share things that way. So I'm sure we're not going to find out every detail. I would expect we're probably not going to hear too much about pricing quite yet, just because we're so far away and they don't want to be locked into something and then do the Tesla thing of setting expectations too high. I think they want to probably under promise and over deliver. So we might kind of hear a little bit about like pricing range, but I don't think we'll get like final pricing for sure at this point. But it sounded like basically what we're expecting here is something kind of like in the Ford Bronco size, Ford Bronco Sport size. So like sort of a, two-row, I wouldn't say like compact SUV, but like something, quite a bit smaller than the R1 here, to keep costs down. Seems like they're going to be keeping, the Rivian style headlights, the big ovals with a big light bar, just because that's become like a big hallmark of the brand. And overall, like the design's going to be pretty similar. And of course, it's going to be really key to keep this adventure spirit. So while it may not have, offerings like the quad motor setup and things like that, I think, we probably will still see bringing over a bunch of like the off-road and adventure modes that are present in the R1s, just to keep with this adventure spirit. I think probably the styling will be pretty similar on the inside as well, to match what we've got here in the R1s. And then we also don't know too much about like overall performance or anything like that, but what I'm really excited to hear about is going to be what they can tell us about the battery, the range, and the charging. These are all things that are like good on the R1s, but I think it's actually an opportunity for Rivian to do a little bit better and to kind of advance the tech that they've got, even though the R2 is going to be cheaper. So it'll be interesting to see like, are they making advances there, or are they kind of like trickling down what they've got in the R1s there in maybe like a more cost-effective way. So I'd be really interested to see, like, are they able to get, more efficiency on a smaller vehicle? Can we get faster charging performance? Because it's okay on the R1s, but like, it's not, anywhere near, class leading or anything like that. So I'd like to see some improvements there too. And we'll see what they're able to do overall there. But yeah, I can't wait to learn more about the R2 platform in March. And I think it's going to be really exciting. We've got our Model Y. It's still doing great. We're holding on to it, but and I don't know what we're going to do to replace it. We've got a reservation down on a Volvo EX90, which has been delayed. So, we've got a while till we'll have to make a decision about whether or not we take that or not. And if the R2 is compelling, I really love what we've experienced so far with Rivian. I wouldn't mind being a dual Rivian household and replacing our Model Y with a R2 in the future if it's a good, compelling option. So I can't wait to hear more about it. Then outside of that, we also got a whole lot of news, actually just last night, with some new battery options and pricing details for the existing R1s. So in the past, basically what we started off with was what's called the large battery pack in the R1s. And so that's what we've got here in our R1S. It's what was initially available. And we finally got some like official details on it. So we now know that it is a 131 kilowatt hour usable capacity. We don't know what like the total gross capacity is because Rivian doesn't confirm that, but we're able to use 131 of it, and that is good for 352 miles. And this was always technically like a $9,000 option, but you couldn't get anything below it previously, so you were just kind of stuck with that. And I think it is like a good option. I'm very happy with it. The 352 miles of range is fantastic for us in our road trips and everything. So this is a good one, but you are theoretically paying a premium for it. Last year they also added the max pack battery, which we now know is a 141 kilowatt hour usable battery. So 10 more kilowatt hours than the large one. That gives you 410 miles of range. In these are in the dual model configurations. You get less in quad. Right now, all of these various battery options or the full suite of battery options are only available in the dual motors. Here in the quad, I believe we can only get large and actually I think it's only large. So that these like range numbers are all being quoted for the dual motor ones, I should say. So the max is so basically you're getting 58 extra miles of nominal rated range on the max over the large, and that is a $19,100 price upgrade from like the base adventure package, and or a $10,000 difference to the large pack. So we've had those two options now for at least a couple of months, but now we have the standard packs available. So the standard pack is a $0 edition. So this is basically the base one. This is what technically like the adventure pack has always been. And we now know that that is a 106 kilowatt hour battery. Usable at least, and that is good for 270 miles of range. But you can now actually buy this one and have it delivered like almost immediately. They have also now introduced a standard plus battery option, which is 121 kilowatt hours, and that is good for 315 miles of range, and that is $3,100 more than the standard one. So you've got 4 different options now in terms of battery packs, from the standard to the standard plus to the large to the max. And you're basically getting about, you're getting 15 more miles with the standard plus over the standard. You're getting 25 more of the large over the standard, and 35 more of the max over the standard. Yeah, lots of different options now. Really cool to see like this range here of pricing options. And so the standard starts at just under $75,000, $74,900. And so you can basically now spec all the way up to just under 100,000 just from battery options alone. So I just think this is great. Like, now you have 4 different options in the R1 lineup, and different sort of affordability there. None of these are exactly what I would call affordable options, but $75,000 for really capable, pretty large, really one of the few 3-row SUV EV options that you have out there, and that's actually cheaper than the maxed out spec GT line of the Kia EV9, which is really the only other like 3-row EV sort of in this like price range. So that's really awesome. Obviously, this competes also with the Model X, the Mercedes EQS, and is that it? Those are like your main options right now in terms of 3-row SUVs. That's exactly why we ended up getting this in the first place. We liked it the most, but it was also really one of the few options that we had here. Lots of different options now. And then just as exciting, I think, is we have a lot more leasing options for all of these now. So you are actually able to now lease a standard dual motor R1T for $559 a month. After $7,454 due at signing, which I believe includes delivery and everything. That is also inclusive of the $7,500 tax credit, which you're getting on there. So $559 a month for an R1T. That's incredible. I think we were paying more when we had like our BMW 3 Series. So, actually, had to have been less than this, but whatever. Still a really great option. Again, not like affordable, but that's not what they're going for right now. These are, really capable, really nice, like pseudo luxury adventure vehicles. So when the R2s come out, we'll have much more affordable options, presumably, but that's really not bad. Like that's probably the best deal I think you could get on a really nice EV right now. So I would highly recommend that to a ton of people. So really great now for us to have all of these options, and really excited to see like where this goes with R2 coming out also. Like Rivian is really kind of fleshing out the full range along their lineup now, even though they really only have like 2 different, true vehicles at this point, at least for consumers. One other cool thing with the standard and standard plus batteries are these are NMC chemistry batteries. They're not LFP ones, so that means you should not charge them to 100% all of the time. But the standard and standard plus, from what we have learned so far, are basically the same battery, or they are the same battery, and the standard plus is really just like a firmware unlock on it. So this is sort of similar to what Tesla had done with their standard and standard plus, or whatever they called them, range batteries years ago, where you're getting the same hardware basically, and it's just software that's changing the capability here. And so what that actually means is, on the standard, you have a much higher buffer at the top of the battery pack that you're not ever actually using. So you could theoretically charge it to 100% all the time and not degrade the battery. So that's pretty cool, and actually means that I would probably recommend the if you're really thinking about the standard plus, I might actually just recommend the standard, because you can go to 100% for like daily driving, and unless you really need that extra range for road tripping, I don't really see much of the value proposition in the standard plus there. It'd be cool to see also if Rivian offers this as like a software over-the-air software upgrade where you can just pay for it. I think Tesla was doing that for a while. They haven't confirmed that yet, but could be interesting to see. And I also just want to give a big shout out here to Rivian Tracker, his YouTube channel, and the interviews that he's done with Out of Spec, where I got a lot of this information. Following him on Threads as well, and he's doing a great job to share all of this with everybody. So I wouldn't have had all of this without him. So check out his videos as well, because he gets even more into some of this stuff.
All right, one of my absolute favorite things about the Rivian and our R1S here is the amazing front trunk. So while a lot of EVs have this extra space that traditionally would have been taken up by an engine, kind of hollowed out and usable for some storage, the Rivian really goes above and beyond with just an absolutely cavernous space here, and it's got a powered open and close, which I find makes it much more usable, and we end up using this a ton of the time. So you can see just how great the opening is. Same thing with our closing, and we have a ton of space in here. But not only do we have this big compartment here, actually underneath here, there's a little folding kind of sub-storage compartment here. And you can see what I've got here is an amazing cooler that I just got from my friends at BestEVMod, which I think really adds to the usability here and gives us a lot of great options. So let me show you quickly how this works. So first off, I just love the styling here. I love the yellow band on here that kind of matches with the styling for the rest of the Rivian. It actually does fit just perfectly. There's sort of this little lip in here that goes down in the middle part, so it fits perfectly in there, keeps it nice and secure, it's not going to move around. And then it's made out of this really nice vegan leather material, inside nice and well insulated. And you can just see this is nice and big. We've got these little movable and removable Velcro kind of tabs here to help organize stuff. We've got these straps here to also help keep it secured, and also section stuff off. So this is fantastic. We have a ton of space here for putting some ice in here, taking some drinks and food and stuff along on our bigger road trips, and we'll absolutely be using this camping. This is super cool. Whoops. And then I also love that it's got these carrying handles on here, so we can easily take this out and take it along with us. It's pretty light too, thanks to the material on here. All right, so if you are interested in getting your own, check out the link down in the description below. Make sure to use my code to save on this and pick up one yourself. Absolutely love this. It's going to be coming along with us all the time now. I always know an accessory is good when it just stays in the car and comes along with us everywhere, and this is definitely going to be one of those.
All right, and then the last bit of news here, as if this wasn't enough, is that the rumors are kind of heating up around the R1 refresh. So R1s have been around now for a couple of years, and there are just a couple of things that it looks like Rivian is probably going to be changing. It doesn't, it's not totally sure if this is going to be a major announcement or not, or if they're just kind of do the Tesla thing here and change these and kind of roll them out as they're ready. We'll kind of see. There's nothing that's massive amongst this, but I think there are a bunch of just nice updates here, and a lot of things that'll also just help Rivian in their path to profitability and sort of increasing their margins while decreasing costs. I think that probably the most exciting thing here from a like user and driver standpoint would be if they add a heat pump. So this is the one that is like kind of most rumory right now. The Rivians do not have a heat pump right now. I kind of covered this in another video that I had done somewhat recently, so check that one out to understand like sort of why and what went into those decisions. I would say like overall, I think it's not totally necessary in a vehicle like the R1s, but it would be beneficial, and I could see it being a good thing for them. It will increase costs and add complexity, and it's another part that could fail and add to maintenance. But the increases in efficiency and consequently range, I think would probably be worth it for drivers. So if they can do this in a good way and keep their costs down, keep it simple, I think this would be a big win. So we'll see if they end up doing that or not. The other big one is doesn't really necessarily translate too much to customers unless it leads to like price cuts. But the rumor is that Rivian will be moving to in-house production of their drivetrain for the quad motor setup. So for the dual motor one, what they call the Enduro motors, they actually do produce those in-house. But the quad ones are coming from a third party right now. And so if they brought this in-house, it would theoretically allow them to not only improve the efficiency and the power from those, but they could also reduce costs as well, which would be quite nice for them. So that might just mean that they're reducing their own costs, or that could translate to customers as well with price cuts. It looks like they also might move to a new battery chemistry, so could potentially move to a LFP battery on the standard ones. I think this a little bit, it seems like this would have been more likely a few days ago, but now with the announcement of these standard range battery packs and the details that we've got on those, and the confirmation that they are not LFP, I think it's a little bit less likely. Like, I don't see why they would announce these batteries and then like change them in a relatively short period of time. So I don't think that one is super likely now, but you never know. LFP batteries would be great because you can charge them to 100% all the time without degradation, as opposed to the NMC chemistry that they've got now. So that would be nice for people's daily range, especially on the lower range options. But I don't think that's like a major one. And then the big one for Rivian itself is that it seems like they might be able to decrease costs by up to 35% by updating their high voltage battery composition, moving to a new wire harness setup with some changes there, and then changing the ECU into something that's built in-house with lower costs. So 35% cost reduction is pretty massive. If they can actually do that on their vehicles, these will become much closer to profitability and be great as for Rivian's investors, and possibly translate to decreases in prices for Rivian drivers as well. All right, so there you go. That's all of the big things coming out of Rivian right now. I'm sure there'll be some more that come out right after I finish this video, but just really cool to see. I think Rivian's doing a lot of really awesome stuff right now. So much of this is like sort of behind the scenes and you don't necessarily always hear about it. But something like, major new product launch with the R2 is going to be super exciting, and I cannot wait to hear about that. So with that, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you're excited about with Rivian, what questions you've got. Let me know if there are things also you want me to cover when I do the review here. I've been trying to keep track of some of the comments and stuff about the vehicle so far so that I can cover all of that, but always interested to learn more about what people want to hear about here. And with that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you out there on the road.